Hi everybody, this is Marika with the Limelight Pet Project, and I'm here with Holly Cook and Tracy Campion, both of the Limelight Pet Project, and we are joined by Elizabeth Walkie from Save-A-Mutt. Welcome, Elizabeth.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for coming over. We're on Zoom. We're all in our own homes. It's great.
It's okay. Over to our phones and our computers and everything else.
Yeah. We are so excited to be featuring Zelda. I got to meet her. She's amazing. She's so amazing. Will you please tell us a little bit about this beautiful dog?
Okay. So, Zelda came into the Evernow shelter in September of 2019, and she was adoptable. And so shortly after she came, we put her into a foster home because we like to get all of our dogs, especially our seniors, into foster homes. And we worked with the Everett Animal Shelter Senior Dog Foster Program to do that. And Zelda was just having a very difficult time getting adopted, mainly because of she had some ear infections, these chronic ear infections that weren't going away. So we decided, let's just put her into a Save-A-Mutt foster home, which turned out to be the same home because they foster for both organizations. Amazing family. And we got to the bottom of her ear infections, which turned out that one of her ears, her left ear, has a genetic abnormality, which is no ear canal. And her right ear had an L-shaped canal that was not allowing wax to come out of her ear naturally. So it was lodging down below in the canal, and it literally became like lava rock. And so we were able to have a Dr. Duclos in Linwood look at her ears, take care of that. And now she's wonderful, and just still waiting for her home. She does have old torn cruciate ligaments that have been stabilized by her scar tissue, and she just keeps motoring along. She was on pain meds and anti-inflammatories, and now she's just down to anti-inflammatories. Her amazing fosters have also taken some weight off of her. She was a little over 80 pounds when she first came in. Her last weight was 71. So they've done great things for her, and her mobility has improved. And so she's just waiting for a home. You know, she's been relaxing and enjoying being spoiled and a member of a family, and she is very excited. After meeting Marika, she thinks her time is coming. So I think she's right.
And she is, what kind of dog is she?
She's an Amstaff mix, American Staffordshire Terrier mix.
And she's kind of a reddish color.
She is.
And has those like golden eyes.
Yes, she's got beautiful eyes. They're just different than, you know, they're almost like an amber color, you know. They match your coat practically. And she just looks at you. They go right through you, don't they, Marika? Like she's just got a soulful look.
Yeah, and she's got a really long tail too, which is adorable.
I know. And it keeps wagging.
Yeah, as she like ran across the yard, it was just like tail. Every single inch of her is moving.
I know. She's so happy.
So, Elizabeth, with her challenges with her ear, have you noticed that she's having any trouble hearing?
No, we noticed that she's actually hearing. We weren't sure at the beginning because we think that she couldn't hear anything before we started treating it. Now she can hear pretty darn well. And so she may, of course, in her one ear can't hear, but the other ear she does have hearing. So she is not hearing impaired like we thought she was in the beginning.
Okay. And have you noticed that has changed her behavior once her ear was cleaned out and she could hear again?
I think so. You know what? I think what I've just noticed, she was always pretty happy, but she had kind of a worried look about her before her ear was fixed. And then I think that once she recovered from that initial procedure and she was no longer, you know, on the pain meds and stuff, I think she just felt 100 times better. So yeah, she just really bounced back. So I think that because her joints and stuff, that was just something she learned to live with. And her ears too, but I think they were getting worse as time went on. So I think having the ears taken care of, she did a 360. She's exuberant.
I mean, imagine not being able to hear and then all of a sudden you wake up from surgery and you can hear again. I mean, I can't imagine what she went through. That must have been a very joyful experience for her.
And you can imagine too, so you think she loses her family. she's not feeling well because, like Dr. Duclos said, this is probably something that was going on for years. This was not a few months with the wax in her ears. So imagine, and then you can't hear, and you're at a shelter that's typically noisy. So being hearing impaired is a blessing in a way, but it's still vibrational, you know, lots of movement. And so she can't hear, but she can see and smell. And so that uncertainty, that had to weigh pretty heavy on her. And again, she was so joyful, but you could see she had a lot of worry at the beginning. And once she could hear and all of her senses were working, it's like nothing was ever wrong.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Resiliency.
Mm-hmm.
It's true. These guys really teach us, right? They just move on.
Yeah.
Well, in that light, so Zelda has gone through so much in terms of losing her family, and she had a hearing impairment and probably, I'm guessing, headaches from all of that wax buildup, and then she had the leg injuries as well. What lesson do you think she could teach all of us, especially during such a difficult time?
I think the lesson she could teach us is to not give up. That I think that, you know, years ago, before we had this amazing supportive community that we live in that are donating. I mean, we are 100% running because of the donations from our amazing supporters. The generosity out there of our Save-A-Mutt family is, I can't even describe it. These people come, they see these dogs, they want to help. They can't foster, they can't do, you know, other things. So what do? They write us a check, you know, or what, they just can't stop giving to us to help the animals. And so I think years ago, before rescue had such a strong presence in our world because of the rights of the animals that we fought so hard for, I think not giving up, because it would have been easier to just say, well, she's got ear infections and she's going to have to learn how to live with it. We didn't give up. We said there is a reason for this. Now, had we gone to Dr. Duclos and it was just ear infections, then we would have known that's what it was. But we knew that there was something more. There was something, nothing was going away. This ear was just still problematic. So I think, I know she taught me that you don't give up. You keep looking for answers, because those answers are out there, and patience, because it takes time to find those answers. So those two things, I think, don't give up and be patient while you're trying.
Oh, wow. So, man, yeah. I know. Sit with that for a little bit, because it's so big. It's so true. And I love your supporters. I love that they are there for you to do that work, so you can give that time and that patience to so many animals. So with Zelda, what are some of her favorite things to do now that she doesn't have these things that are holding her back from her joy? What does she do to express that joy?
Well, I think, of course, she loves the ball, right? We talked about how she loves the ball. I think treatment for the ears, I'm not sure she would have been rolling around on the grass the way she was the other day. I'm sure that ear, we know, because before we figured it out, when she would get, pets and stuff in the foster home, every now and then she'd yell out. So I'm seeing her more energetic and enthusiastic, and she knows it's not going to hurt anymore. So she can roll around on the grass and, not worry. Because I know we've all had ear infections. Even movement when you have an infection hurts, right? Mm-hmm. I think that she is more energetic, more enthusiastic, and that pain being eliminated has removed her barrier of probably being more cautious about what she does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she wasn't holding back for anything when we were taking portraits. It was like,
yeah,
right. Like she was like, oh, I have all the joy and I think you might need some. So I'm right here in your life. What I absolutely loved about her is that she would walk up to me and like get about 6 inches from me, and then she would flop over onto her side and then roll on her back and just give that big smile. And
I know.
And she was just like, I'm ready. Give me that belly scratch.
And she was also kind enough to tell you that you had 4 hours to do. She would give you 4 hours to just keep scratching her. She's like, it's endless. You just scratch her belly for hours and she's never going to get tired of it.
Yeah.
So Elizabeth, I've been listening to you talk about Zelda, and I'm very upset that I haven't got to meet her. But she sounds like she's one of those dogs that once you come away from her, you have a little more love in your heart. So, and I'm listening to you speak about her, and it sounds to me like the best home that she could have would be a home with lots of tennis balls, some grass for her to sun herself, a person who's there often enough for her to, have that time with her person, but no other dogs and no other cats. Am I right about that?
Yes, I think definitely no cats. And for dogs, so we're asking that a meet and greet be done for anybody that has a dog, because I do think she would be okay with certain personalities, and that personality would just be a super relaxed, probably male dog, because I've seen her with all of my dogs, and she was fine with my dog he passed away last week, unfortunately, but he was just this big old lab shepherd, such a relaxed fella, and she liked him. And I think because he was so calming, and with her, like, maybe eventually she'd be okay with other dogs once she's in a place long enough to feel comfortable and confident. But right now, I think I'd like to see her not have to work so hard at adjusting to a new environment. And so by removing those things, we're making it easy for her to have a successful transition.
That makes sense.
If somebody was interested and had a male, really mellow guy, then of course we would have a meet and greet. And if that went well, then we would go forward with an adoption. But it would have to be a certain personality in order for her to be compatible.
Yeah, just like women, it has to be the right personality.
Yeah, I don't want anybody in my kitchen, so go.
We can all agree, like, that it will be Zelda's kitchen.
Yeah,
that's right.
There's no hiding that energy, and it's really very amazing. It's like this.
She's a cool dog.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Tracy, up to you.
Yeah. So I'm sorry to hear that you lost your dog last week, but I'm so glad that Zelda was able to have a friendship with him before that happened. Given everything that she has gone through, does she currently have any behavioral or health issues other than she's just going to need routine vet checks for her ears and somebody that can keep on top of it if it seems like she might be having a little bit of pain or discomfort?
That's all she needs. She needs somebody who's going to be willing to just watch for signs of her ears bugging her again and just keeping up on it. She's just taking drops in her ears that are very simple, not very expensive. It's not cost prohibitive. As far as her behavior goes, her walks, her foster was saying that she gets on her leash and she goes for her walks, and all she wants to do is go visit the neighbors. I mean, she has kids in the neighborhood that she loves, and she knows children because as soon as she sees them, she kind of waits for them to come over and, pet her, and because she'll jump up on you. She's got the energy, her joints, even though, and I'm sure she's got arthritis, but you wouldn't know it. The anti-inflammatories, everything is really working for her, and she's lost that weight, and they keep her active, going for walks and playing in the yard. So that's all working, to benefit her mobility. But as far as behavioral goes with human beings, you are not going to find a sweeter, more tender-hearted dog. She is amazing. It's just other dogs. And who knows where that came from? We don't know where it came from, but we know it's there. And so we're going to make sure that we eliminate that uncomfortable situation for her. But other than that, people, oh my gosh, that dog is a goodwill ambassador at heart.
Aww.
Yeah, I want to say she runs upstairs faster than I do.
I know.
I was kind of dumbfounded. I was like, what was that?
I know. And when we first had her posted way back, we asked for a home without stairs. And so we eliminated that because she's having no issues with stairs. She's having no issues going for walks. She's perfectly fine. She motors along just fine.
You mentioned that she recognizes and understands that children are in existence. How would she be with kids in a home?
I think she'd be fine. I really do. I think I'm always cautious when placing dogs in homes with very young children, mainly because we see so many dogs coming to us that are being surrendered because the 18-month-old, landed on top of the dog while the dog was sleeping and the dog snapped out of fear. We see it all the time, and that's not it. We don't like that they're being rehomed because of it, but we understand that the safety factor has to be taken seriously. And if people aren't comfortable, then the dog isn't comfortable, right? Mm-hmm. So we find homes for those dogs. But I think that with any dog, whether it's a tiny little Chihuahua or a big giant Mastiff, small children need to be savvy, and they need to, like my grandchildren are 3, they know. Mm-hmm. They know because, and they've been snapped at before, but it's always been their fault. And mm-hmm. they've learned. Now they know, 3 years old, they know now, they understand, I think that Zelda would do great even with younger dogs, but because she does have those issues health-wise that she could be uncomfortable at some point. The toddlers, although I think she'd be okay, I would have to really know that the owners are savvy.
Yeah,
right?
They're going to provide the proper guidance and support for that relationship.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. So I think
Zelda can be a granny.
Huh?
You can be a granny.
That's right.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for spending your time here with us to tell us more about Zelda.
Thank you so much for taking your valuable time and focusing on her and giving her a whole new audience. And hopefully she'll find her way home, and it will be thanks to you guys.
Oh.
Yes. So if somebody is interested in Zelda, we have a very strong pet finder presence. So all of our adoptable pets are on Pet Finder, including Zelda. And they could just look. We've got some photos posted and her write-up. If they weren't sure that they wanted to fill out an application, which our applications are available on our website, www.save-a-mutt.org, and there are hyphens, www.save-a-mutt.org. Our online adoption applications are there. And then if you just wanted to inquire, there's also you have the ability to do that on Pet Finder. If you just wanted to ask a question and you were a little bit shy about filling out the application, you could just send me an email, Elizabeth with a Z, at save-a-mutt.org. And any questions you have that maybe aren't in her listing, I can answer for you. And I'm always happy to take a phone call, and we could move on to a phone call. If you email me, I'll get in touch with you. But anybody that's seriously interested in Zelda, she's our very important pup. We will do whatever we can to make her transition smooth and happy.
This has been Tracy.
Marika.
Holly. Try again.
I forget that we do that. Okay, it's
Tracy, Marika, and Holly.
I liked that they were at the same time with the Limelight Pet Project, and we shine the light on harder to adopt pets because their stories are worth telling.
Yay!